Hello everyone, myself Ketan Bhavsar, Assistant Professor in LJ Engineering College, Ahmedabad. VLSI Design Unit number 2, CMOS Fabrication Technology and Design Rule. Today's topic, NMOS Fabrication Technology or NMOS Fabrication. Now in previous session we discussed simple steps of CMOS technology, or we can say that a basic step of CMOS technology in terms of NMOS technology and PMOS technology. As we already discussed the few predefined or basic steps which use in each and every fabrication technology, if you're talking about NMOS or you're talking about PMOS. So now today's topic, NMOS technology or NMOS fabrication. Now start with the first step. Processing is passed on a single crystal Si of high purity, of which necessary p-types impurity is initialized as the crystal is developed. The diameter of such wafer are about 75 to 150 mm and 0.4 mm thickness. So as you can see, it look like this. We have to take first Si substrate. Suppose you are designing for NMOS technology, then you have to take a p-type substrate, and for that we add a p-types impurities, and you have to take a p-type impurity substrate. It's around 75 to 150 mm, or thickness is around 0.4 mm. Next step, SiO2 layer is normally 1 micrometer board is grown all over the exterior of the wafer to ground the surface and perform as a barrier to the depon through processing. So we covered that particular Si layer or Si substrate with SiO2 layer. It is generally used to provide the protection, and also it provide a connectivity help to substrate to the terminals. The exterior surface is now enclosed with the photoopposite, which is deposited onto the wafer and spoon to an even distributed of the necessary thickness. So as you can see, now we deposited a photoresist material which generally help to provide the conductivity to the surface. And there are the two types of photoresist material, as we already discussed in previous session. It's a positive photoresist material and negative photoresist material. They both photoresist material is generally used to provide the conductivity between the surfaces, and it is used for creating a surface mounted distribution, and also it helps to provide the conductivity between the substrate impurities to the terminal side. A photoresist coating is then covered to the ultraviolet light through the mask, which describes those area into which transmission is to take place as one with transistor channel. So we covered that particular region and area with a UV lights, and the UV lights is generally used to creating the windowing method, or it generally used to create the window on the substrate. So as you can see, it's look like this. So we have to take a mask, and after that we have to apply a UV lights. So you can see it creating the windowing where the mask is not present over there, and it create a gap on the substrate. It is really used to provide the windowing concept, and because of that window we place the terminal like gate, drain and source at that particular area, and after that we use a metallic and contact connections to provide a connectivity, and it is really used to close the loop from source, drain and gate terminal. So generally gate terminal is useful for the input, drain terminals and source terminal is generally used for provide the conductivity as per the direction of PMOS or NMOS. Either you can work for the active low, or either we can work for active high logic. Now this region are consequently and readily fixed away together with the original silicon dioxide, so that the surface of the wafer is uncovered in the window defined by the mask. So as you can see, again we apply a specific SiO2 layer, and we apply the particular oxide layer to provide the conductivity and also provide the protection to the mask. again we have to cover with that particular region. It can be used or it can be implemented with some chemical process or some etching process. A thin SiO2 layer is grown all over the surface after removing the remaining photoresist. So as you can see, we apply for first substrate. After that we are taking the SiO2 layer, then again we apply the photoresist material. After that we apply the UV lights for creating the windowing, and after that we removing the unnecessary photoresist material. Then again we implant a thin SiO2 layer, which is generally used to provide the protection to the surface or provide the protection to particular substrate area. So as you can see, so after the because of the UV light process, it will look like this. In creating the window, and after creating the window you can implement over here different types of terminals. Right now we are talking about a simple NMOS fabrication, so we use here p types impurities and we add here terminals, as we can see in the next few slides. Further, the photoresist coating and masking allow the polysilicon to be patterned. The thin oxide is removed to expose the areas, and this area is diffused with n-types impurities by heating the wafer to a high temperature and passing the gas of desired n-types impurity to the form the source and the drain terminal. So basically we use a source terminal and gate terminals and different types of impurities to creating a particular region, and then we create a drain source and gate terminals as a input terminals. So as you can see, it look like this. We have this Si substrate. After that we apply the SiO2 layer, we apply the thin layer of SiO2, then polysilicon layer. After removing the particular or etching area, we can see the polysilicon is mounted only on the center position, and this area is etching by the chemical process, and that chemical process can be used to allow or select a specific area, or we can say that a region. After that we can see it look like this. Again we apply the thin SiO2 layer. So now question is arising in our mind that why we use SiO2 layer on each and every stage after the fabrication. So the region is very clear, because SiO2 have a higher connectivity, so it is only used to provide the protection to our surface or substrate, and it is used to provide the best connections that the silicon substrate will not break the channel, also it will not break the conductivity between the region. So because of that reason we use SiO2 layer on each and every stage. As we can see, a thin oxide of SiO2 is grown over then masked with photoresist. Now it is etched to expose the selected area of the polysilicon gate, drain and source where connection are to be made. As you can see, it will look like this. We deposited on high temperature and pressure. We are deposited the N plus type of impurities. After that we again grow on all over the area with SiO2 layer, and then again we provide the conductivity to the particular area or to the particular region. Now the whole chip has the deposited of the metal over its surface, typically to a thickness of 1 micrometer, and this metal layer is masked and then etched to form the required interconnection patterns. And with help of this interconnection pattern we can develop a specific metallic connections on all over the substrate area and also provide the conductivity between the region. So as you can see, it look like this. You have a substrate, you have a impurities, we add a SiO2 layer. After that we put a metallic connection on the surfaces, and again we provide the metallic connections. It will look like this. We etching this particular area and we removing this particular metallic connections from the substrate. So finally it will look like this, your substrate, the particular type of concept, as you can see. So finally your image or your final mask is look like this. Fine. So What exactly we did in this fabrication step? See, the fabrication is important to understand because we use a number of chip, and that particular chip is used in each and every field right now. So the question arises in our mind that why, how this chip is really developed and why we use this type of chips. So as the reason is very clear why we use, because of there are the number of reasons we have related to the power consumption, related to the efficiency, accuracy, size issue. We use the chip. Now how the chip is fabricated? So we start with CMOS technology. Now CMOS is a combination of NMOS and PMOS. So now we start to design the NMOS. For designing the NMOS, we have to take starting the substrate of PMOS or P-type substrate, add the SiO2 layer, photoresist material, put the mask and use the UV lights to creating a high diffusion areas or windowing method. After that again apply the SiO2 on each and every layer, again apply the photoresist material with help of the chemical process or masking, diffuse the N plus impurities on both the side. After that again use SiO2 layer, removing the unnecessary photoresist material on the substrate, and after that use metallic connections and remove the unnecessary metallic connection and contact cuts, and then you can see and design the final layer, or we can say that design the final masking pattern of SiO2 layer, or we can say that design the final NMOS transistor. Now after that the same process is applied on the PMOS type of transistors. Now as you can see in the PMOS type of transistor, we have the same process on each and every step. We have to just change the substrate and the doping density type, as you can see in this figure. Suppose right now I'm designing a PMOS, so we have to take a substrate of N types of impurities. After taking the N types of impurity, again this step will be same for SiO2 layer, photoresist material. We have to take a mask. This also make a same concept. This is also a same concept for applying the etching on the area and SiO2 layer on the substrate. And here we have to add the P types of impurity instead of the N types of impurities, because right now we are designing a PMOS technology, and for that we have to add a P types of impurity instead of N types of impurities, and it will look like this. This figure is also remain same, SiO2 layer, and here it's a P plus region. It will be created on all over the substrate type. And finally you can see the figure is look like the same, just change the substrate type and the doping type density or doping area. So it is very clear. Suppose you are designing a NMOS, then you have to take a P type of substrate. You design the PMOS, then you have to take a N type of substrate. Suppose you are designing a NMOS, then you have to doping or your doping type should be N plus, and if you're designing a PMOS, then your doping type should be P plus. So only changing in 2 steps, remaining all the 7 steps should be or must be same. Okay, and in your syllabus we are focusing on only NMOS fabrication because they are considering the PMOS have a same steps, but only changing the substrate area and the doping type. Okay, so NMOS and PMOS fabrication topic now done, and with help of this combination of NMOS and PMOS we are designing a different types of CMOS, or we are designing a bulky CMOSs, or we can say that advanced CMOS we can design with help of the combination of PMOS and NMOS. So now in next session we are talking about the N-well fabrication. In terms of the N-well we are focusing on P-type substrate, then again we designing their NMOS transistor, and after that again we design the PMOS transistor with N type of substrate. So we can say that it's a combination of NMOS and PMOS, and with help of this two combination we are for designing the N-well fabrication. And after that we working on the design rule based concept. In design rule it play a main role when we're talking about a fabrication of chip, because as per the Moore's law, we can see the different types of MOSFET is available right now in the market. But as per the Moore's law, if number of transistor increases, then performance of the chip increase, or performance will be increase. But now just imagine that on one particular small area, how number of transistor is inserted, or how much space each and every transistor will occupy. So it play a main role, and it have some mathematical calculation that we will study in design rule, and it also play a main role when you are working on any fabrication technology which is related to designing a specific MOSFET. So I hope you like this session, and if you have any doubt related to a specific MOSFET technology or NMOS fabrication or PMOS fabrication, then you can contact me. Okay, so I hope you like this session, and if you have any doubt, then you can contact me. So thank you very much.